Hey! Welcome back, folks, to another product spotlight. I'm Douglas freaking Smythe from PhoenixShaving.com, and today we're going to be looking at Dapper Doc. Intro!
You'll be the life of the party. You'll be the life of the party.
Hey people, welcome back. Today I'm going to try to just remain mellow. I got a little scolding after the first 5 seconds of the intro, and I was getting people going, so you know how that goes.
No.
Anyways, folks, Dapper Doc. I'm super excited. This scent is just, it's so much of a Phoenix shaving classic that it's crazy. I don't think there's anything else like this on the market. I don't know if there ever has been. We've been delivering this bad boy for about 4 years now. Created it for the first Arizona shaving meetup that we had. It's true. I wanted something that was really, I just wanted to really represent the spirit of Doc Holiday. And not in the way we use Tombstone for that, because Tombstone's more about the OK Corral. It's about the town or city, we'll say, of Tombstone. Of ancient Tombstone, ancient Arizona anyways. To Arizona, if it's 100 years old, it's ancient. If it's 50 years old, it's ancient here. Whereas in New England, we laugh. Whereas in Europe, those watching are laughing at me right now. But I wanted something to represent the man. And because Doc Holiday was a complex individual. Not many know this, but he was actually a dentist.
I'll help you. Here, I'll get that thing. Open that.
Oh, ah. It's true. He was a doctor, in fact, but he was a dentist. I don't know if I'd want him working on my teeth, but he was also a gentleman. He was very learned and very much a gentleman. And you know, you may know this. That said, he was also a dapper dresser. So what we got going on here in Dapper Doc is something that really is an extension of what he would typically be wearing as a gentleman of his day. And what he would be wearing is something very Victorian. The guy liked his money. He won some, he lost some, he won some, but he was always spending it on good things and things of high quality. And what was going on the east coast of the states would eventually make its way by wagon to the west coast, or to the west at least as far as Tombstone, or wherever he was at the time. And so I wanted to make something traditional and in line with the Victorian spirit of that time and stuff they were using, or something similar to the floral perfuming that was going on, which is still actually survives. That type of perfuming, what they were doing, still survives in different parts of Europe. But I won't go into that. But what we have here, it sounds simple in nature, but it's actually quite complex because it borrows from some very complex natural scents. The Dapper Doc consists of lilac and primarily fig. Primarily lilac and fig. There is a musk in here as well. So some of you will pick up on that immediately, but I know lilac and fig sounds pretty wholesome. I can assure you it's not. Again, I'm going for a Victorian vibe, a Victorian gentleman that, he'll hold the door open for a lady, but at the same time, he'll backhand you if he has to. And that was Doc Holiday in a nutshell. So lilac and fig. Off the top, I get the lilac, of course. And lilac in itself is very, especially this particular lilac. This is Korean lilac. The florets on this are a little bit smaller than your typical standard lilac that's found in most people's backyards in New England anyways. But it's sweet, the lilac anyways. It's sweet, heady. And this particular variety of lilac is slightly spicy as well. Almost cloying. In fact, I think it would be if the fig wasn't there to mellow it out. And so now I have this overlap, this complex overlap of this bitter green, which is the fig. It's bitter green. It's also this milky sweet. It possesses actually milky sweet facets, I'd say, and ripe fruity notes, it works really well in contrast to the lilac. And then there's the musk, kind of the glue holding all this together. So with the addition of the fig to the lilac and the musk, it really gives it this like Mediterranean type feel. This sophisticato, if you will. But at the same time, it's just badass.
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
Amazing and unique and great all year round. The wintertime, I think, is going to remind you of the summer. In the summer, I think it's going to remind you of the fall. It's almost like a good, almost like an alcoholic beverage, like a liqueur, not a liqueur, but something, a wine, if you will, like a nice aged wine. I absolutely love this stuff, and it has a huge following out there. Some of the biggest, burliest, manliest gents in shavedom love Dapper Doc. And now, at first, I thought it was just the label that was attracting them to it. No, they actually really enjoy the lilac and fig combination. And again, there is a musk note in there too. So that is, I guess, the masculine element that's really holding them together. But if you are looking for something different, something unique, something that really, I mean, it's refreshing too. Really heady stuff. Yeah, see, and off the puck, I almost get a powdery note too. Giving it, you know, a slight like Victorian barbershop aspect of it. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this, but if you don't have Dapper Doc in your collection yet, you need to pick it up. I highly, highly, highly recommend it, as do a lot of other people in the community. So that's it, folks. This has been a Product Spotlight. Another one with your quiet, mellow friend, Douglas Smythe from PhoenixShaving.com. Sorry, almost got a little rated PG-13 there. But thank you for tuning in, folks. I'll see you next week. Again, remember, Dapper Doc. Game changer.